This is an awesome saber. What's happening, guys? My name's Glenn Higgins, creator of Get Kids Moving, the ultimate superhero and Star Wars workout channel. Welcome back to Backstage Pass, a section of our channel where we take you behind the scenes to show you a little bit more of how we create the magic. There'll be costume creating, prop making, and tons of reviews of all the collectibles that we use in our workouts. So if this is something that interests you, be sure to like, subscribe, and ring that bell to keep updated with all our future content. So today I've got a very special review of a brand new NeoPixel lightsaber from my very good friends at Tatooine Lightsabers, who very kindly reached out to me and asked if I would review a saber of my choice on the channel. Which is exactly what I'm going to do today. So let's open this up. Now, the saber I went with was the Master Elegance saber, which is their version of the Obi-Wan Kenobi hilt from the brand new series on Disney Plus. Just showing you that detail there. Look at that. Now, it didn't come exactly how you see it there. I did make a few modifications myself, being the absolute perfectionist that I am. But it does come weathered really well from them. They do a really good job. And if you're not like me and you want to just put it straight on your belt and go for it, you can do. But I will go through exactly how I kind of made those adjustments and weathered it a little bit to my liking in a bit, but I'll firstly just run through the usual stuff you get when you get your saber, like all the accessories. So you've got obviously your hilt, and then you have your NeoPixel blade there. When you haven't got your blade in the saber, I do suggest using the plug to just wedge in there, and that basically just stops sort of dirt and dust getting into the connector at the end of the saber. You've got your charging lead. Again, always when you get it, charge it for about 4 hours the first time. I don't think you need to really charge it that long every time you want to use it, but definitely the first time, 4 hours is definitely recommended. You get your manual, which should be studied because it can take a bit of time to sort of get used to the operation of it. You've got your spare Allen key, screws, all that sort of business, another Allen key as well, and then also you get your stand there for your hilt. If you want to display it on your table, you basically like that, and then you just put the saber there, and that looks pretty cool on any mantelpiece. So let's get rid of this box. Let's have a little closer look at this saber. Now, the reason I actually went for this version of the Obi-Wan hilt is because I actually do a cosplay of the mythos statue of Obi-Wan Kenobi, which is basically, it's based on the end of Kenobi, where he meets up with Qui-Gon Jinn and then sets out traveling the sands of Tatooine, and you know, his outfit's pretty battered, his saber is pretty battered as well, and to go with that outfit I actually do, this was like the perfect addition to it. The original saber that Tatooine Lightsabers sent me, which is just sitting here, was the Elegance saber, which, as you can see there, is super fresh and super shiny, and just didn't quite match the look I was going for. So that is why I opted for the slightly more battered version of the hilt. And you can see basically side by side there, these are both from Tatooine Lightsabers. They're slightly different in style as well as this, as you can see. I don't know if you can see that. The actual Elegance cleaner looking one is actually thicker, slightly smaller. It does have a slightly different look to it, and this is a little bit thinner here, and obviously the weathering is completely different. That's the shine has been taken completely off of that, as compared with that one. So that is why I went with that, even though I've already got the clean looking version of the Obi-Wan saber. But when it came, it looked incredible. Like, I can't complain. When they sent it, it still had a bit of a shine to it, but they kind of weathered it with kind of sandpaper, and they'd kind of put a little bit of dirt on there as well, and it did look really good. But I was kind of looking for a bit more of a kind of a matte look to it, and a bit more like getting your dirt and your sand in there, in those little edges, which you can sort of see here. I've kind of gone right in, especially the actual grip just along this bit here. I've kind of gone in with some dust in there just to make that a little bit kind of sandy, rusty kind of effect on there, which has come out really nice. And I actually achieved this by using a bit of silver rub and buff, which is an amazing thing, but doesn't, when you're putting it to shiny metal, it doesn't attach perfectly, but you can persevere with it a little bit. And I think you just have to, I basically added it to all the bits here to give it that kind of shine. I wasn't looking for that like super shiny kind of effect that the rub and buff can give you, so I wasn't buffing it in, you know, as much as you would usually do when kind of doing props and stuff like that. But what I actually found is, obviously it does come off in your hands. So I watched loads of videos and people's opinions saying do not clear coat rub and buff. So I was like, am I going to spray that and it comes up all sort of streaky, crack? I've got to tell you, I rub and buffed all of the silver parts there, clear coated it with a matte spray, and it came out exactly how I wanted it to, which I was so pleased with. And then once that had kind of set and all of that was clear coated, then I could get in with some acrylics, some dust, to kind of just give it all that little bit more detail. You see around the buttons there, just a little bit more detail where the dirt would be caught in there, and once again the sand and the rust in there. And I think it really came out really well. I'm really pleased with that. But I just really wanted to just show this off today and just show you what you can actually do. If you, I mean, again, it's totally up to you. When you get sent this by Tatooine Lightsabers, it looks fantastic. It's great. It's ready to roll. You don't need to do what I did to it, but I just think it kind of adds to that kind of vintage look that perhaps between the end of Kenobi and sort of A New Hope, I think right in the middle of that, things would have got, his outfit, you know, would have got a bit more battered. I think his saber, having not really used it that much in that sort of time, would just be collecting that kind of dirt and perhaps losing its shine on the metal as well. And I just think it kind of complements it very nice. I absolutely love this saber. It is so beautiful. And I'm such a fan of that kind of Star Wars weathered look, you know, that kind of vintage style. And I think this just pulls it off perfectly. And obviously it's going to match my cosplay, my Obi-Wan Mythos cosplay so well. And I can't wait to take it to the first con. I think it's going to go down perfectly. But obviously no lightsaber is complete until you light that bad boy up. And look at that. You still obviously got the usual sounds you get with these lightsabers. Very, very awesome. And you also get the, you know, all those features like the sounds, the colours you get with it, the different ignition types, which I won't be going through in this video, because you can actually catch a much more in-depth review of their original Elegance saber, which will show you all those kind of bits there as well, because they're basically the same, well, they are the same saber, they just have very different looks there. So super pleased with that, cannot wait to take it to my first Comic-Con, and yeah, awesome. Thank you once again, Tatooine Lightsabers, for sending me this awesome lightsaber hilt. It is so cool. And if you want to get your hands on one of these yourself, or any of their lightsabers from their range, and there are many, I'll put the link to their website down below, TatooineLightsabers.com, and you can also use my discount code GetKidsMoving15 and get 15% off your order. Thank you so much for watching, and if you've enjoyed the video, please hit like, subscribe and ring that bell to keep updated with all our future content. See you soon, and may the Force be with you.